Well, something very special for everyone today. A new gun I've bought, or precisely an old gun I've bought. It's a Soviet PPSh41, and it's World War II dated, and it's got all the same serial numbers on all parts of the gun. So, it is, a complete, unique, original one, no parts changed on it. The serial number that's on it is 7377, and that's on the barrel and the receiver and on the stock, so all parts have that same serial number on. You can probably just about see it there if the camera makes it out. And yeah, beautiful old gun, famous as the submachine gun of Stalingrad, used by the Red Army extensively throughout the Second World War. There was a stamped metal version that came out later called the PPSh43, which sort of replaced it, but this still remained in service for quite a long time. And basically it's a very fast firing submachine gun. It can do either semi or fully automatic, and it was renowned for being quite reliable and having a scary high rate of fire. And if you look at there, that massive drum magazine holds 71 rounds, so you'd get a lot of firepower out of it before you had to reload. It can also take the standard sort of style magazines that I think held 30 rounds, but I don't have one of those unfortunately to put on there. So I'll show you a few different angles of the gun, and I'll show you the type of cartridge it used. Now this is the magazine, holds 71 of these Tokarev rounds, and as you can see these are pretty tiny. This is after all a submachine gun. It's a rather interesting cartridge. They're 7.62 by 25mm, and apparently they have surprisingly good ballistic properties at going through even modern body armour, because most of these had steel heads, not copper heads like most bullets, or at least steel jackets, which meant the 25mm gave them a bit more velocity than a 9mm would, and it's actually a much sort of stronger head on it that wouldn't deform as easily. So ballistically these were very good. I'm afraid I can't tell you, because I've never shot it, how accurate the PPSh actually is. I know it apparently at very close range it is quite easy to keep on target if you're strong enough, because the gun's weight offsets the recoil. But as far as I understand, quality-wise, it had nothing on something like the MP38 or the MP40. But in terms of speed to produce, it was very good, and obviously rate of fire, it was very good. So it had and reliability, it was very good. So it had what you wanted in a submachine gun, really. And it was then when the PPSh43 came out that they made it even faster to produce by having a stamped gun, where all the parts didn't actually have to be made in a gun factory, unlike the PPSh. But saying that, for what it is, it's a very nice gun, in very good condition for what I paid for it. I got it from D&B Militaria, where I get all my deactivated guns, so they're worth checking out. And I am tempted at some point to get a Tokarev as well, so I can load those rounds into it. Right, I'll just show you one last thing. I'll get the magazine open so you can have a look inside. Now, if there's anything that should be immediately apparent from this, it's just how much cosmoline they've caked this in. I often read about Moss in the Gantz literally being packed in barrels of cosmoline, and it's not very different with this PPSh, I have to say. Yeah, lots and lots of cosmoline in there. But here's the workings of the drum magazine. You literally stand all the cartridges up going around, and they feed up through there. Not very advanced. Obviously drum magazines are known to jam more than spring-loaded straight magazines are, but obviously these seem to do their job in the Second World War. I don't really have enough rounds to actually load them in to get the magazine to work properly, if it does work properly, but it's an interesting thing to look at, and obviously you get very, very greasy of all the cosmoline opening it and closing it. But there we go, that's the PPSh41. As you can see, quite an interesting old relic. I think this model being 44 makes it about 71 years old, give or take. So, very good condition for the age it's in.